software developer. I've got 1 more month left of that, and because I work contracts, and my current contract finishes at the end of June. So the reason why I want to be a personal trainer, I've done a lot of sport in the past. I've had quite a few years out now, so I really want to go back to something a bit more active and more rewarding as well. Software development is very much you and the computer, and you don't really interact very much with people. And there's no. The best bit about my job is when you help somebody, but you don't necessarily help people very often. It's just so far removed. So I quite like helping people. So I had a look at several providers. The choices seem to be like a 5 or 6 week course, or residential, or sort of several evenings or weekends spread out over a long period of time, or the flexible one that EPTI is. So I couldn't really afford to take 5 weeks out of my life non-stop for one of these other residential courses, and I wanted to get the qualification moderately quickly, so I didn't want to do one weekend for a year or something to get it that way. So the advantage of EPTI is that you've got the home study beforehand, which is a bit of a drag, but it allows you to condense the time you're away. So I was spending a lot of evenings and dinner times and what have you in the weeks running up doing the coursework, but then at least when I get here I've got the fundamental knowledge, and then it's just 2 weeks of very hard work and then you're done. So it's a structured course really. It's well structured. The way it was broken down in terms of what to submit when was good. That made it easier to just submit small parts and small doses. The fact you get the PDFs that you can just then put on an iPad or on your phone or whatever and read wherever you want was quite handy. The coursework, yeah, so that was good. You submit, I don't know, say an evening's worth of coursework, and then you get some feedback, and then if you need to change it, you can change it the following evening or a couple of evenings later. So it worked well, back and forth. Obviously, a little bit of pressure towards deadline day, but I am a software developer, I always push deadlines. It was good, positive, encouraging, just a little bit of pressure when required, but not too much. It's okay reading up beforehand, but it doesn't necessarily explain everything for you, and then sometimes you can have a class session and in 10 minutes it's like the veils are lifted and suddenly everything makes sense. It's good broad knowledge, really good ways of relating what you're doing to reality. I mean, some parts of the course are perhaps a little bit, what's the word? Staged, maybe a little bit false, just related to the requirements of the qualification. But then they can always say, but this is how we have to do it for the qualification, but that still works in this environment because of this, or you can adapt it a little bit like this, and so this related even things you thought were a little bit false back to reality, so that was good. And then they all had good experience to connect things up in your mind. If you sort of say, how would I use that, or how would I relate this to skiing, for example, so I can do this sort of thing. So, good. The gym's got good facilities, but I'm a bit more interested in the outside stuff, so working outside in the beach in the sun was really nice as well. But it was a good investment because of time and money as well, because the way the time, your time at home isn't exactly free, but it's a lot freer than actually leaving home and having to come away for a while. So the mix of homework, they fit in when it's convenient, and then coming here just for 2 weeks is good. Well, certainly for me, I wasn't really much of a gym goer, so it's been good to get in a gym and experience that. Especially sure it's something I'm going to run with very much, but I wouldn't feel as intimidated in that environment now as I might have done before the course. So that's good, and I would feel beyond not intimidated to be confident to go in there with a client if that's what they wanted to do and take them through a program, a sensible program in that environment. So that's probably the main thing for me, because the outside stuff and the sport-related stuff to the sports I'm interested in, I'm fairly confident with anyway. But now I can also back that with some of the sports science, if you like, some of the anatomy and physiology stuff that we did, I think is quite useful. I intend to use the knowledge I've got to support the sports I'd like to coach.